for the easiest, juiciest turkey ever this Thanksgiving, dry brine. So what we have here is a 12 to 14 pound turkey. So typically turkeys are gonna come frozen, and that means that they need to defrost slowly. For the best Thanksgiving turkey ever, you wanna get started the weekend before the big day. You should buy a turkey no later than Saturday before Thanksgiving. Defrost your turkey in the fridge. This allows it to defrost really slowly, and it'll maintain the most moisture possible. Now, since we've defrosted this turkey, I've taken it out of its packaging and patted it dry with some paper towels. Whenever I'm handling raw poultry, I personally like to wear gloves. I still definitely want to wash your hands after you take your gloves off. In order to have it cook really evenly, I like to spatchcock turkeys. And I'm going to show you what that looks like. Spatchcocking means just to remove the backbone and flatten it out so it roasts evenly. I'm going to go ahead and pat it dry again. It's really important whenever you're butchering meat or fish to keep your cutting board very, very dry. Try to keep the surface of what you're cutting dry as well. That's gonna make sure that the meat doesn't slide all over your cutting board. So these are poultry shears, two different styles. They're both just really big, heavy pairs of scissors, and I like both of these for different reasons. This pair has this really cool ability to come apart. So you can actually throw them in the dishwasher and get them really, really clean. And this is a different style of poultry shear. Part of their design is that they've got a loop here so you can get a really great grip, and then there's no loop at the top. You can use the full force of your hand to get in there and cut through bone. So starting from the tail of the turkey, I'm gonna find the backbone. It runs right down the middle of the turkey, and about an inch or so on either side is what I wanna cut out. So with these sharp, sharp scissors, I'm gonna go in here and make a cut. And I'm just gonna continue cutting up the turkey. Make sure you use your other opposite hand to brace the turkey. So I started with the tail end with scissors, cutting away from myself. And now I'm gonna show you how to do the other side, but with a knife, I'm gonna cut towards myself. I'm gonna insert the knife, same thing, about an inch from the spine, and cut downwards. All right, so the spine is free. You can throw it in the freezer and save it until you have enough bones for stock. Okay, I'm gonna set it aside. Next process is to flatten it out so that we have a even thickness for the turkey, and that's gonna really help it to cook and roast evenly. Take the legs and turn them inward. Something about this always makes the turkey look a little, I don't know, indecent. And now the next step is to flatten the breastbone. To do that, take the palm of your hand and just press down. Okay, now that our spatchcock turkey is flattened out, it's gonna roast really evenly like this. I'm gonna go ahead and loosen the skin so we can get some seasoning under there. Loosening the skin is also gonna make it extra crispy. Reach under here. It's kind of gross, but it's really gonna make the turkey delicious, so. And I'm gonna pat it dry again. This is really so that I can handle the turkey more easily. It's not so fun to work with a wet bird. Dry brining literally just means sprinkling salt on the meat. And for this turkey, we're gonna do it 2 days in advance. So thinking about your Thanksgiving timeline, you want to do this on Tuesday if you're serving your turkey on Thursday. I use 1 teaspoon of kosher salt per pound of meat. The first teaspoon of salt is gonna go under the skin. I'm gonna measure 1 teaspoon of salt into my hand, and I'm gonna go ahead and sprinkle that right on the meat. And now I'm gonna do a teaspoon on the breast. So we're getting in there. Next 2 tablespoons or 6 teaspoons are gonna go on the surface of the turkey. I'm making a mess with salt, but now I'm gonna flip it over and season the underside of the bird. And go ahead, rub it in a little bit. Now, last step is to tuck the wingtips behind the breast. Okay, so now that my turkey is seasoned, wingtips are tucked back, I am going to flip it onto a sheet pan lined with a rack. Very elegant dismount here. All right, make sure everything stays tucked. Now, we're gonna take this turkey, we're gonna cover it in plastic wrap and refrigerate it for 36 hours. What that's gonna do is allow the salt to dissolve and penetrate the meat. It's gonna season it really evenly and deliciously. All right, now we've got our fully dry brine turkey. You can unwrap it the night before Thanksgiving or the morning of, either way. That air in the refrigerator has caused the skin to really tighten up, and we know that it's going to get super crispy in the oven now. So I'm going to slide pats of butter underneath the skin and smooth them out. The butter does two things. First of all, it's going to baste the meat as it melts, keeping it super juicy, and it's going to kind of fry the skin so it gets really crispy. It's going to be awesome. Okay, so now I'm going to tuck the turkey, make sure it's inside the rim of the roasting pan. It's okay if it's right up to the edge, but you don't want any drips in your oven. I'm going to add my broth to the roasting pan. We're gonna roast this turkey for only about 1 hour until the breast registers 150 degrees. We're gonna pull it at about 150 so it doesn't overcook as it rests. We have our beautiful roasted turkey. It's golden brown. Can you believe how perfect this looks? It's crispy, it's gonna be juicy. Let's carve it up. First, we're gonna remove the legs. Find the seam that runs between the leg and the breast. Keep in mind you'll cut through bone as you do this. I'm gonna go ahead and insert my knife at the base of one wing. Use my knife to trace around that joint. Now with a little pressure, I'm gonna pop the wing joint out and I'm able to just cut around it. I'm gonna take my knife and insert it right down the middle of the breastbone, cutting through the meat until I hit bone. Turn my knife slightly and start cutting the meat away from the breastbone. Got your leg, turn it over, find where the skin of the drumstick meets the meat of the thigh, and right in there is a joint. We're gonna cut right through it. Got a drumstick and this beautiful thigh. There's always somebody who loves a thigh. For wings, cut right through, pop the joint, cut in between. Here we have one of those beautiful boneless breasts now that we've carved off the turkey, and I'm just gonna slice it crosswise. It's a combination of slicing it into small, manageable pieces, and also enough so that everyone at the table gets some. This is the best way I have found to roast a turkey for Thanksgiving for a crowd. I've chosen to decorate the platter, garnish the platter with a little bit of sliced citrus. I'm gonna serve this with Riesling. I really love Riesling at Thanksgiving. It's a relatively low alcohol wine, really food friendly, and it brings out all of the delicious flavors in this citrus roasted turkey. Riesling's always gonna have a nice lemony zip and a good acid. Yeah, that's gonna be perfect with this turkey. Okay. Wow, look at this. Look at how juicy that turkey is. I'm a drumstick person. A little bit of this gorgeous gravy. Wow. Even in the center of that piece of turkey breast, you can tell that it's been seasoned. It's super, super tender and really juicy. I can't believe that this turkey only took 1 hour to roast. That is the power of pre-seasoning.